Hi students, welcome to All4 e-learning chemistry classes for first year. The running chapter is stoichiometry and now we are in session number 40. In previous session we are discussing about measuring equivalent weights, and in such a course we defined Z factor for different compounds which are involved in the reaction or which are given, is it not? And there we discussed about the basicity which is related to acids, and here you remember basicity is nothing but the number of replaceable hydrogens from an acid molecule is basicity. That basicity is taken as Z factor in case of acids, and now that basicity which is nothing but replaceable hydrogens, how to count these replaceable hydrogens? For that purpose we discussed about the acids are of two kinds, one is hydroacid, the other one is oxyacid. In case of hydroacids, no doubt at all the hydrogens which are present in that hydroacids are replaceable, but in case of oxyacids, the hydrogens which are bonded to the central nonmetal through OH bond are replaceable. If any hydrogen in oxyacid is directly bonded to central nonmetal atom, then it is not replaceable, and hence we are considering the number of OH groups that are present in the given oxyacid, that is taken as the basicity. We took the examples from oxyacids of phosphorus, is it not? And then related to acidity. Acidity is the term related to base. Here the number of replaceable OH groups that present in a molecule of base is nothing but acidity. So that acidity is taken as the Z factor in case of bases. And now coming to salts. In salts, cation and anions are present, and we are considering the magnitude of the charge on total cation or on total anion irrespective of the charge. We should not sum up these two. Already we discussed when we are summing these two, automatically it will result 0. But here what we have to consider is the total charge on the cations or the total charge on anion. That is the magnitude only. And in case of oxidant and reductants, we define Z factor as the change in oxidation state. And just you remember, when change in oxidation state is influenced by different factors. Say for example, in case of KMnO4, what we are observing is nothing but there, depending on the acid media, that is nothing but nature of media, acid media or basic media or neutral media, the oxidation state change is differed, and thereby there we are considering only the N factor, because the change can be observed only when the reaction is given, is it not? And now we have to continue our discussion with ions, where in case of ions, Z is nothing but the charge on ion, and in case of elements, where Z is nothing but the valency. In these two cases, just first let us go for the ions. In case of monoatomic ions like Na plus or Mg plus 2 or Al plus 3 or N minus 3 or O minus 2, like this, if they are monoatomic ions, just the charge is nothing but on ion. Charge is nothing but on ion, the charge is nothing but the Z factor. Again I am repeating, in case of monoatomic ions, the charge present on that ion is nothing but Z factor. And in case of polyatomic ions also, the charge is taken as Z factor. Here it is Z factor, not N factor, just you remember. The change, the charge that present on the total ion is Z factor. And now coming to elements. In these elements, we may consider the molecule or we may consider the atom. Just you remember, atom is having its valency. Generally, valency is related to atom only. It is nothing but the combining capacity of elemental atom is valency. Already we know, is it not? And now when it is, say for example, oxygen valency is 2. So when atom is given, we have to consider equivalent weight of oxygen is nothing but atomic weight of that oxygen by valency. Valency is nothing but the bonding capacity or combining capacity of the atom. And now, in case if oxygen molecule is given, then equivalent weight is measured as molecular weight by sum of valencies of all atoms in the molecule. Here in oxygen, 2 atoms present and each atom is of having 2 valency. So in case if molecule is given, the equivalent weight will become 32 by 4, and when atom is given, atomic weight is 16 by 2. Just to observe the difference. When molecule is given, you have to consider the valency of the molecule. Valency of the molecule means here the sum of valency of individual atoms of the same element present in that molecule. Here oxygen atom valency is 2. So when oxygen atom is given and atomic weight is given and asked to calculate the equivalent weight, simply you can consider atomic weight by that valency, that is 16 by 2. We are getting 8 as the equivalent weight. Here when oxygen molecular weight is given, that is nothing but 32, and then by valency should not be for atom, because in oxygen molecule 2 atoms present, and thereby the sum of the valency of both these 2 atoms should be taken, then it will be 4. So 32 by 4, that is nothing but 8. Like that, just you have to you should be some sort of having a carefulness here, because if you are not considering the molecular weight or atomic weight, if then automatically it will be of giving a wrong answer. Just you have to observe whether the molecular weight of the element is given or the atomic weight of the element is given. In case atomic weight is given, just you have to go for the valency of that atom. If molecule is given, then also you can calculate equivalent weight. It is nothing but molecular weight by the sum of valency of all the atoms present in that molecule of the element. Clear? Like that, we have to consider the Z factor for different compounds with this one. And with all this knowledge, now just let us consider a few frequently used compounds and their equivalent weights. How to measure the equivalent weights of those compounds? Let us consider them. It is nothing but, for example, HCl is given and NaOH is given and H2SO4 is given and CaOH twice is given and AlOH thrice is given, or H3PO3 is given, H3PO4 is given. In all these cases, or HNO3 is given, HNO3, and H3PO2 is given, and now it may be HNO3 and H3PO2, and then KMNO4 in acid medium is given, KMNO4 in basic medium is given. Like this, when it is, or K2Cr2O7 in acid medium is given. In all these cases, how to measure the equivalent weight? Just for that purpose, here Z is 1. So equivalent weight is nothing but 35 point. That is simply, let us consider in all these cases, what we are considering is equivalent weight is equal to molecular weight by Z factor. Here Z is 1. So 35.5 is the molecular weight by 1, that is equivalent weight of HCl. And in NaOH, Z is 1, because here also the acidity, that is replaceable OH are 1 only. Then equivalent weight is equal to 40 by 1. And in H2SO4, Z is 2, that is the hydrogens, replaceable hydrogens are 2, and thereby it is equivalent weight is nothing but the molecular weight of H2SO4 is 98 by 2, that is 49. And in case of CaOH twice, Z is 2 because here two replaceable OH groups are present and its molecular weight is 34 plus 74. So equivalent weight is equal to 74 by 2, that is 37. And then aluminum hydroxide, Z is 3. So equivalent weight is nothing but its molecular weight. It is 27 plus 51, that is nothing but 78 by 3. And H3PO3, here even though hydrogens are 3, but already we know replaceable hydrogens are only 2, so its equivalent weight is molecular weight by 2. Here molecular weight is 51 plus 31, 82 by 2. And H3PO4, Z is nothing but 3 because all these 3 hydrogens are replaceable, and here the molecular weight is 98 and thereby it is 98 by 2. Not true, it is 98 by 3. Like that, for different molecules, molecular weight by Z factor, just you have to observe Z factor is nothing but number of replaceable hydrogens in case of acids and number of replaceable OH groups in case of bases. And here it is Z is 1 because it is only having one OH group or only one hydrogen, hence, and it is equivalent weight is equal to molecular weight. It is 48, 49 and nitrogen is 14, 63 by 1. And Z here is only 1 because only one hydrogen is replaceable, because only one hydrogen will be in the form of OH, and hence here equivalent weight is nothing but equal to 34, 35 and 31, 66 by 1. And K-MnO4 in acid medium, this plus 7 is now converted to Mn plus 2. So the change is 5 units. So equivalent weight is equal to its molecular weight. Molecular weight of KMnO4, if I remember correctly, it is 39 and it is 55 and it is 16 into 4. Now 64 plus 55 plus 39, it is 14, 18, 4, 10, 15, 158, or it may be 52, then it will be 155. So equivalent weight you can consider 150 depending on this. If it is 52, 155. So here the equivalent weight is 155 or 156 by 5. Just you remember here Z factor, not Z factor, it is actually N factor because all the reaction is given. And in this case it is converted to K2 MnO4, and that means here plus 7, here plus 6, only 1 unit change. So equivalent weight is equal to 155 by 1. In this case here K2, it is converted to Cr plus 3. Here it is plus 6 and here plus 6 into 2, that is 12 is the oxidation state of chromium, and here plus 3 into 2, total change is 6 units, and thereby here equivalent weight is nothing but equal to, I think it is 294 by 6. This is the equivalent weight of K2Cr2O7 in acid medium. Like that, just we have to consider the acidity or basicity or the change in oxidation state, or in case if it is the element, we have to consider the valency also. That is about the Z factor. And now coming to N factor, here all these except these three, in all the remaining cases what we are providing is imaginary Z factor. That is whether how many hydrogens are replaceable or how many OH groups are replaceable, that is imagined or assumed only from the given molecule. But practically what is happening to that, we don't know. And when practically what is happened, if we consider, then it is nothing but N factor. And just again I am repeating because so many people are confusing here. Here let me give, Z is imaginary and used when compound molecule is given. And now N is real, use when reaction is given. This is a very important topic to understand this equivalent weight. So many people are having so many doubts in this regard. Thereby let me explain one after the other with examples. Just now let me give one example with well familiar compound H2SO4. And when they ask you to find the equivalent weight of H2SO4, what we are doing? Just from this molecular formula we are considering Z is 2, that is 2 replaceable hydrogens we are imagining, and thereby in this case equivalent weight is equal to molecular weight by Z, that is 98 by 2, that is 49. This is one scenario. And now this will happen when H2SO4 is reacting with 2 moles of NaOH, where it is giving Na2SO4 plus H2O. If you observe, in this case also already this is one of the reaction given, and the other reaction given is H2SO4 now reacts with only 1 mole of NaOH so as to give sodium bisulfate. Sodium bisulfate plus H2O. This is, just you observe, if these reactions are given, then we should not consider the imagination. We have to go for the reality. Reality here is nothing but, even though H2SO4 is having 2 replaceable hydrogens, what is happening? Whether it is replacing all these 2 hydrogens which are present in this molecule or not. Let us observe. In this case, the 2 replaceable hydrogens replace. So here N is Z, that is equal to 2. Sometimes it may happen like that. That is what we imagine, the same thing may happen. But in this case, let us consider 2 replaceable hydrogens by observing this molecule, and thereby we are assuming Z factor is 2. But really what is happening when it is involved in the reaction, only 1 hydrogen is replaced, not both. Are you following this one? Only 1 hydrogen is replaced. Imagination, we are imagining or we are assuming that the 2 hydrogens in H2SO4 are replaceable, but actually practically what is happened in the given reaction is only 1 hydrogen is replaced from the H2SO4. Then in such a case, N factor we have to consider as 1. And now just let me know whether you are depending on the imagination or reality. It is always reality, is it not? Because imagination is only up to the result is coming. Once the result appeared, the final result appeared, automatically we have to depend on that one. There is no further imagination once the ultimate result came, is it not? Here that is happening. So in this case, in this particular reaction, equivalent weight of H2SO4 is nothing but molecular weight by n factor, that is 98 by 198. Just you observe. To understand the difference between Z factor and N factor, this is the best example. This is the best example because here imagination Z factor is 2, but practically what is happening is only one unit change, that is only one replaceable hydrogen is found. Replaced, here we can say that Z is nothing but replaceable hydrogens, and whereas N is replaced hydrogens. Lot of difference is there. In this case, replaceable hydrogens, replaced hydrogens, both are same. Then we can say that here the Z factor and N factor both are same. But it is not always true. Sometimes this might happen, and thereby we have to depend. When the reaction is given, it is better to depend on the N factor. From that N factor, you can observe what is actually happening in reality. Is it not? From that, you can calculate the equivalent weight. Okay. In coming session, with this example, it is the basic example where I try to explain the difference between Z factor and N factor. And in coming session, I will take different model examples where to find, how to find N factor, all these. Clear? Thank you.